All right, what's up, guys? How's it going? So today, the live stream is all about discussing the Infinity War trailer, dissecting the new Infinity War trailer. So if you haven't seen it yet, please go watch that before watching this live stream. I'm going to spoil what happens in the trailer, not necessarily what happens in the movie, but some things I do want to discuss. I do have some theories that I, just have formulated over watching the trailer, discussing things with my brother and other people, reading things online. Just some theories about what I think is going to happen in the film. So if that's not something you're really interested in, or you don't want any spoilers or anything that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know any more than you do. It's all just speculation at this point. But if you don't really want to know any theories or any sort of guesswork in terms of what's going to happen in the actual full-length film, then this video may not be for you. So just let you know that straight off the bat. But yeah, we're going to discuss. I have 31 different screenshots I took from the trailer, so I have a lot of different things to discuss here that we're going to get into. So this trailer gave us a lot. I mean, the first trailer gave us quite a bit, but the second one gave us so much more. It gave us a lot more about Thanos, a lot more about his background, even the stuff he had with Gamora. There's so much to get into, but let's go ahead and jump into that then. So I'm going to head get right to the point. So, all right. So like I mentioned, we have 31 screenshots here. This is the first one. So this is New York, I believe. This is clearly New York to me. And what you're seeing here is something falling from the sky in the left hand, in the middle of the screen there. You can see this sort of like a rotating shot that's kind of turning to make it look a little more dramatic. I guess it kind of feels a little more spacey, like you're kind of watching it from the sky too, which is pretty cool. I like how that's shot. This could be any number of things, but really what I believe this is, Hawk falling from the sky after Thanos destroys the ship with the Asgardians that has Hawk and Thor and Loki on it. I feel like Hawk gets teleported somehow or gets shot off into space and ends up flying to Earth. And this is what you're seeing here. This could also be Thanos' ship or whatever that was in the sky that we've seen in a bunch of the trailers. That could also be that. That's sort of what a lot of people are probably noticing when they're watching the trailer. They're probably thinking this is Thanos' ship. The thing that Spider-Man goes after and later in the trailer that we'll see, it could also be that. But my opinion of this is probably Hawk, because it seems like it's falling from space. It's de-elevating to the ground. So that seems like that's what's going to happen there. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. You never actually know. We never know for sure. But I think it's probably Hawk, but it could actually be Thanos' ship or whatever he sends to Earth and to start his conquest, so to speak. Also, too, I'm not looking at the comments section right now, so feel free to comment stuff, but I need to get through these pictures and then I'll start replying to comments and those kind of things. All right, so the second shot here, we have Bruce Banner. We have Scarlett Johansson. We have Black Widow. Sorry, I was spacing on her name real quick. Sorry, it's still early. And we have War Machine here, Don Cheadle. This looks like it's probably in Wakanda to me. This is like one of the similar shots where they saw where the group was in Wakanda. There's the Hawkbuster suit there. They're probably in Wakanda there to hide or conceal Vision. Then eventually this is where one of the battles takes place. That is more than likely what the case is here. So we see these three looking up at the sky at something. It's really difficult to say what they're looking up at. They could, and considering War Machine is actually Rhodey is actually in the suit, they're obviously preparing for battle or doing some sort of preparation. So this seems like it's the calm before the storm, so to speak. Okay. So this is what we're seeing falling from space again. This is probably the same shot that we're seeing from Bruce Banner falling from space. That's my guess. This is the Sanctorum, Doctor Strange's Sanctorum, one of them at least. This looks like the one in New York as well. So that's what I'm guessing. It looks like this is kind of what that's hinting at. Also, once again, it could be anything Thanos related. It could be Thanos' ship. It could be some sort of weaponry that Thanos has sent to Earth to sort of start his conquest. We never know. But I think this is Hawk falling to space, which we'll get into more. All right, so here we see Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet. He's putting one of the stones, the stone from the Tesseract, in there. This is only his second stone that he's kind of throwing in there, and that's kind of just the start of his conquest. He has his second stone in there. He gets his stone from Loki, obviously, and there's a lot going into this. The Space Stone, considering it's the second stone that's thrown in the little Infinity Gauntlet there, then even with two stones, Thanos is really powerful. So even with one stone or no stones, he's really freaking strong. So when he has two stones, that's going to be amazing. So it's going to be amazing to watch kind of the stuff that he pulls off with these stones. It's going to be like, wow, he just did that. He just did this. Like, it's going to be continually one-upping himself. But really, this stone obviously comes from the Tesseract that Loki stole at the end of Thor Ragnarok. So if you watch that part, Loki stole the Tesseract when he goes in to sort of unleash Ragnarok on Asgard. And he does that just by taking the Tesseract because he thinks no one's going to know about it. Asgard's about to be destroyed. So he grabs the Tesseract and, in secrecy and just kind of takes it. And then Thanos tracks it down. He finds their ship. That's how I believe the movie is going to start, which we'll probably get into a little bit more. I believe the film is going to start just like Thor Ragnarok ended. Thanos' ship's going to show up against the Asgardian ship. He's going to kill almost everyone on it except Hawk and Thor, and maybe Loki, but probably Loki too, which sucks. We'll get into that. And he's going to take this space stone here from the Tesseract, which we'll see actually. All right. So here's a shot of Gamora talking about how Thanos, if he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can basically destroy the world with a snap of his fingers. And that's pretty crazy. That's what happens in the comics, actually. So he gets all 6 Infinity Stones, and he can basically destroy like half the universe just by snapping his fingers. So that's kind of what they're referencing here. And sort of just kind of establishing the stakes of the film, saying that, you know, if he gets all 6 stones, then he's going to kill everybody and kill half the universe, and he's going to win, and it's not going to be good. So they can't let him do that. That's basically the point of this scene. So then here's Iron Man, here's Tony Stark. What they're kind of hinting at here to me, the editing kind of makes it seem like Gamora is talking to Iron Man, but it doesn't seem like that's the case to me. I feel like more than likely when Bruce Banner falls to Earth after Thanos destroying his ship, he's either ejected to space, he ends up on Earth somehow. What's going to happen, or Loki teleports in with the Tesseract, also possible. That's what I think could happen. What I think Tony is doing here, I think he's talking to Doctor Strange and Bruce Banner. So when Bruce Banner kind of collects himself and comes back on Earth, he's going to say, Doctor Strange, hey, contact Tony Stark because I need to talk to him. And he's going to say, there's this guy named Thanos who showed up and is killing everybody. He killed all the Asgardians. He killed Thor. He actually killed Thor, but Bruce Banner thinks he killed Thor. He's going to, think that Tony needs to know about this because this guy has a secret plan to kill half the universe, and he needs to be known about and stopped. So that's why Tony's like, tell me his name again because I don't know who he is. And then there's Thanos. There's a shot of Thanos right there. And you can see this looks like a conquest, probably a flashback of some sorts, where he has his full armor on, his full gold armor, which is really sick looking. The CG actually looks really good for Thanos, so I'm pretty impressed by it. But this looks like a flashback scene, which we're going to get several of, probably flashback conquest type scenes, and then kind of go from there, just based on what we know about Thanos and, the conquest we see and how he builds up his army and those kind of things. This shot of Spider-Man, so obviously when Thanos' ship, or like I said, whatever that flying device is in the sky that Thanos is using, Spider-Man sees it. He jumps off the bus, flies under the bridge, heads toward it to see what it is, to check it out, and hopefully put a stop to it. So that's kind of what Spider-Man, he just can't help himself. He says he's going to stay low to the ground, but, he always has that instinct to help and save people. So that's what he's doing here. Here's a shot of Iron Man's new bleeding edge armor. So this is a new armor he's created basically for this film. There are theories out there also that he is going to get help from Shuri from Wakanda, Black Panther's sister. That's also possible. And you can see he has sort of like a device that propels him even further. Like he's trying to catch this device in the sky in the right-hand side there, you can see. And he's, just propelling himself even faster. He's doubling up on his speed, so to speak, with his new bleeding edge armor. So it looks really cool and really sick. Here's the time stone from Doctor Strange. There's another shot in the trailer. This is going to be a big part of it. I think there's going to be something that happens here where he gets tricked, probably by Ebony Maw, and they're going to get the time stone. Doctor Strange is going to get a little too cocky, a little too overconfident, and he's going to lose. And that's what's going to happen with that. But that stone is going to be very important for a lot of different things. Vision, looks like we're in Wakanda here. There's too much green to not be in Wakanda. Wakanda's such a beautiful place with so much green. It's almost like Ray says, I didn't know there was this much green in the galaxy. That's what probably people think when they go to Wakanda because it's such a beautiful place. But Vision is going to be injured. He's going to go to Wakanda more than likely, and they're going to try to protect him there and try to hide him there. And he's talking to Scarlet Witch or someone else here and saying, hey, please protect me. Thanos is going to rip this gem out of my head, this stone out of my head. So we're going to see what happens with that. And this is when they actually go to Wakanda. So there's a shot of Cap, Black Widow again, and there's some others behind him. And then we get to see Black Panther, T'Challa, and his whole crew, which looks so sick, by the way. After seeing Black Panther, I love going to Wakanda. It's going to be great. But it's really cool to see T'Challa again. He looks awesome in this shot. Here's Shuri looking at a holograph of Vision, I guess I would say, because there's a soul stone in the middle of it. Not the soul stone, sorry. I forget which stone it is. Let me check. It is the Mind Stone. Sorry, the Mind Stone is the one that's in Vision's head. That's when maybe they're either trying to figure out how to get it out, or they're just kind of Shuri is just kind of researching it a little bit further. Either way, Vision is going to be protected, and that's why that's what draws Thanos to Wakanda, because Black Panther is going to try to protect Vision and the stone, the Mind Stone. So the next shot here, we finally have the Guardians meeting up with our heroes from Earth. We have Tony Stark here, Iron Man, meeting up with the Guardians. This is one of the funnier shots in the trailer. They have Star-Lord here talking about how the plan sucks and it would be really good if he could make the plan instead of Iron Man making the plan. And I love this sort of banter back and forth. I think it's going to be one of the bright spots of the film, and also just the ability to add some versatility, and not be so dark with it. I love a really dark film. I think it's going to be great when it's dark, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of comedy interjected in it, and every now and then, when there's moments of downtime, just make things a little bit lighthearted every now and then. I think that'd be kind of cool. But this banter looks pretty cool. It looks like it'd be pretty funny. All right, so next shot, you can see Falcon flying above overhead, and we have Hawkbuster here. We're going to get into Hawkbuster. My brother actually came up with this theory first, and now that he explained it to me, I agree with him. I think this is what's going to happen. We're going to get to a shot later in the film. If you guys watch Thor Ragnarok, then you know that Bruce Banner was not really comfortable going back to being the Hawk because he knows he might not be able to come out of it. Hawk sort of controlled him for like years, right? And he's like afraid that he's not going to be able to come and snap out of it. So I think what's going to happen is he's going to fall to Earth. He's going to be sort of shocked. He doesn't want to turn to the Hawk again. He's going to say, hey, let me get in the Hawkbuster suit. Or Tony's going to say, hey, get in the Hawkbuster suit and you can fight in that. You don't have to be the Hawk, right? So I think what we're seeing here is Bruce Banner in the Hawkbuster suit. So I think that's what's going to happen. There's another shot later in the trailer, and we're going to explain what I think is going to happen. But I think we're seeing Bruce Banner here in this Hawk suit, and it's a little beat up here by the looks of it, but I think he's going to be fighting in this Hawk suit for a good portion of the film. So we'll see. This is a shot of Thor. This is where he's going to be constructing his new weapon, his new battle axe. It's going to be so sick. I forget the name of it. Let me look it up real quick. It's not Yarnborn. It's Stormbreaker. Yeah, Stormbreaker is the name. Stormbreaker is the name of Axe. He's going to actually Peter Dinklage plays a dwarf in this film, an actual dwarf, and he is going to be helping Thor construct his new weapon, his battle axe, which is going to be so sick. And I love the shot because it reminds me so much of Thor 1 with the cape and everything, and I love Thor 1. And it brings back so many callbacks to the character. It looks so cool. I love this shot. It's one of my favorites in the trailer. Here's Thor actually constructing his weapon, or beginning to construct his weapon. You can see they kind of CG'd it out. But the Lord of Thunder, or the God of Thunder, in other words, is constructing a new weapon here because he doesn't have Mjolnir anymore, considering Hela destroyed it. So he's obviously working on a new weapon here. So that's what's kind of cool. And he has Groot and Rocket with him. You can't see them in the shot, but they're going with him. So it's interesting how in a lot of the shots you see the Guardians together, but you don't see Groot and Rocket with them. So Groot and Rocket kind of go off with Thor while the other Guardians go to Titan with Tony and others to fight Thanos. So it's interesting why they're going to go with Thor. I'm going to be interested to see why they choose that method. Another flashback shot of Thanos, great looking armor, great looking CG. This is basically another flashback shot showing how Thanos has conquered planets in the past, gone to different planets, destroyed everything, sort of conquered and took them over, maybe killed everyone there. So this is there's going to be flashback shots that like sort of establish Thanos and what he's all about and those kind of things. That's really what this shot is. All right, so here's a shot. Like I said, I think this is going to be the first scene of the film. I think it's going to start off very dark. I think it's going to, like I said, how Thor Ragnarok ends. You see Thanos' ship show up over the Asgardian ship and just like tower over it. It just is so much bigger, so much more powerful. And they're going to go on the ship and Thanos is going to wreck everybody. He's going to take Thor and be like, hey, I'm about to kill you. I'm about to kill everyone on the ship if you don't give me the Tesseract. If you don't give me the stone inside the Tesseract. I think he's going to say, you know what? I might kill everyone anyway, and I'm going to take the stone anyway. So no matter what's going to happen, I'm probably going to kill everybody. And that's kind of why he's torturing Thor here. So what I think is going to happen, we'll get to this a little bit later too in another shot. What I think is going to happen is Loki is going to have the Tesseract, obviously, right? Because he does. And I think he's going to bargain with Thanos and say, hey, let Thor live, and I'll give you the stone. I'll give you the Tesseract, right? Let Thor live, let Hawk live or somehow, and let all these people on the ship live, and we'll give you the Tesseract, and you can go, right? And he's going to say, no, I'll let Thor live, and maybe that'll be it, right? So I think that's kind of what's going to happen, and Thor is obviously not in good shape here. You can see his gums are bleeding. He's got some blood on his teeth, so he's obviously been beat up a little bit, right? Thanos has probably beat him up quite a bit. So it's not looking too hot right now. So we'll kind of see what happens. It's really difficult to say at this point. All right, so then the next shot. Like I said, this is really one of the bigger shots to me because you guys know Loki is my favorite character in the MCU. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going dressed as Loki to the premiere. It's going to be really fun. But it's not looking good for him. It's not looking good for him in the shot with the Black Order surrounding him. So if you're not familiar with the Black Order, they're basically Thanos' really smart crew of lieutenants, I guess I would say. They all got different abilities, different powers, different special things that make them special. But this does not look good for Loki. And a lot of people are predicting he's going to die, but it does seem a little too straightforward to me. But on the other hand, it would certainly start this movie out very darkly and set out, and make you hate Thanos right off the bat. You would hate Thanos so much because most people love Loki. And if Thanos kills Loki right off the bat as a start to this film, that would be a crazy dark and crazy, like I said, a really, really bold start for a villain. Like, we don't really know Lor San Tekka, but we see Kylo Ren kill Lor San Tekka in The Force Awakens, and you know he means business right away, right? You see the villain, you establish the villain, you know he means business, and he's dangerous, right? And with the fact that Thanos could kill Loki right off the bat, that could be bad. I mean, like, I honestly could see it happening. I really don't want it to, but that would be a bold start. So, is obviously Loki handing over the Tesseract to Thanos, and obviously he's so powerful, he's going to destroy the Tesseract in this shot, and he can literally hold the stone in his hand, which obviously cannot be done by pretty much anyone else. Only select few people can hold a stone in their hand like that, and Thanos being so powerful, he is one of them. Remember, in Guardians, it takes all of them holding the stone just to be able to control it. Remember, Star-Lord was basically a god at that point, correct? And he couldn't even hold the stone by himself. So that shows you just how powerful Thanos is as the Mad Titan. So it's crazy. So now we're back in Wakanda. You're seeing T'Challa here with his army. You're seeing Hawkbuster there. You're seeing actually Cap and Winter Soldier on the right-hand side there as well. M'Baku's actually in this shot somewhere too, one of my favorite new characters. I love him. But this is Wakanda. I think the Wakanda battle is probably going to be in the final act, or the third act rather. It's hard to say, but I think that's probably what's going to happen. But this battle is going to be so... I love Black Panther's new suit. It's so cool, so cool. Shuri is a genius. So here's the battle. This CG looks crazy, dude. This is like so complex. This reminds me of kind of Asgard. You know how Asgard throws up the shields around the city, or they did before it got destroyed. Same kind of deal here. Wakanda is throwing up a little shield here because they got so much technology and they're so advanced in their weaponry and defense systems. You can see just the mass amount of Outriders. So Thanos' army, they're called the Outriders if you haven't seen them. They're basically like these alien creatures, a lot of times with 4 limbs. And you could see them just flocking towards Wakanda looking for Vision, right? They're looking for the stone on Thanos' order. So Wakanda is going to defend themselves, but I do not feel good about this. I'm pretty confident that Wakanda is going to lose this battle. The Avengers are going to lose this battle. This is not going to be a good film for the Avengers. I think things are going to go very badly. I think more than likely this is an Empire Strikes Back type film. There might be some sort of hope at the end of it, but they're going to lose almost every, if not all battles in this film. I think this is not going to go well for them. They're going to lose a lot. They're going to lose so much. A lot of people are going to die probably, which sucks, but they're going to lose this battle more than likely. All right, so now we're on Titan. This is Thanos' planet. You can see Doctor Strange here throwing out some stuff, throwing out some stepping stones for Star-Lord to jump out on. This scene's going to be crazy as well. Who knows when this is going to happen, but really this sort of shows the point. It proves the point that all the characters are not really going to be in one place at one time, right? It's going to be spread out across multiple different locations, and there's going to be battles fought in multiple different places. And this is on Titan, so Doctor Strange maybe gets them there, but just by teleporting through portals and those kind of things. But he is going to be a big player in this story as well, considering this shot. So what I think is probably going to happen is, this is another theory that I've heard about and discussed with my brother and other people as well. Doctor Strange is more than likely probably going to try and get Thanos or take out Thanos through the mirror dimension or some other dimension, but it's not going to work because Thanos' henchmen, especially Ebony Maw, are going to know better, right? They're going to know better and expect this. And I think Doctor Strange gets a little cocky, gets a little overconfident like he can tend to do, and he gets caught. And they beat him. And I think he's going to be tortured and mentally manipulated in this scene. This is sort of a callback to the mirror dimension, but also to, in the first film, when he had all these pins after waking up, pins in him from the surgery, waking up in the car accident. I think it's kind of torture bringing back those kind of memories that are pretty bad. I think that's kind of what Ebony Maw is doing. There's Ebony Maw right there. He is going to be a dark and sinister figure, and I think he's going to do great wonders for the film, just adding some extra layers of Thanos and his crew that are just, out for blood, and they will torture Doctor Strange because he's basically a genius. To the best of my knowledge, he doesn't really have superpowers. He does magic and those kind of things, but he's just a genius. He's a mastermind. He's Thanos' mind, so to speak, behind his master plan, and that's really what he's going to use. He's going to outsmart Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is going to get cocky, think he has things under control, and Ebony Maw is going to be like, "Nah, son, I got you. You're not smarter than me, and I'm going to outsmart you. You think you think you're the only one who knows about the mirror dimension? Nah, son, that ain't the case." So I think Ebony Maw is going to outsmart him here. So here's the shot of Wakanda I was talking about. Here's my theory. Here's the theory of what I think is going to happen. I think Bruce Banner's in this Hulkbuster suit, and you see the Outriders just destroying it, right? They overwhelm the Hulkbuster suit. They're going to destroy the armor. You know what's going to happen? Hawk himself is going to bust out of the Hulkbuster suit and like wreck everyone, that all the Outriders that are on top of it. So really what's going to happen, yeah, like I said, they're going to jump on this suit, take it down, beat it to crap. Hawk's going to bust out and just start wrecking everybody. It's going to be a big moment. I'm pretty confident that will happen. So here's Thanos on Titan. This is a shot where he says, "I hope they remember you." And this is sort of like a line where he's mocking the Avengers. So I think he's mocking Tony and maybe Spider-Man and Strange and Star-Lord and maybe other Guardians. He's mocking them because obviously they thought they could beat him, right? And it's not going to go too well for them because they're probably overconfident. Maybe Tony talked crap to him earlier. He's going to say, like, "We need you to stop or I'm going to have to put you out of your misery," or those kind of things. Tony Stark is very confident, very arrogant. So is Doctor Strange. I think they're going to be overconfident going into this battle, and they're probably going to get their ass kicked. And Thanos is going to start talking smack back to them. That's probably what's going to happen here. And there it is. You see Tony's armor, right, just being beat to crap. So that's what I think kind of is what's going to happen. So we're going to see, I think, Tony's armor. You can see he's pretty destroyed here. He has like one side of his armor left on at all. So really difficult to say, but I think he obviously got a little overconfident here. He goes to save Spider-Man, I believe, first and foremost. I think Spider-Man goes after this. Tony probably goes after him. They go to Titan, and it doesn't end well. The plan does not end well. They get their ass kicked by Thanos, who's just stronger and more powerful and better prepared. So we'll see what happens with that. Here's probably the biggest shot in the trailer. This is a shot that everyone's kind of going crazy about. This is Cap taking on Thanos with an Infinity Gauntlet on with 2 stones inside. Right, he has 2 stones, right? And to the best of our knowledge, Cap doesn't have any. And Cap's taking him on, right? Which is crazy. But to me, I think there's something secret going on here. Because we're talking about Captain America here, who's very strong, very capable. But taking on Thanos like this, holding off the gauntlet, something does not add up, right? That's not possible. Because Cap is strong, but he is not that strong, right? No Avenger can really take on Thanos one-on-one like this. It's not possible. Especially not with 2 stones. It's just not possible. Thanos would kill you very quickly. So what I think is probably happening, we know nothing about the Soul Stone. We have not seen it. We know really very little about it in the MCU, right? It's a 6th and very mysterious stone, and I think it's kind of been hidden in plain sight all along. And there might be something, if you look here, you can see Cap's eyes are a little bit yellow here, and that's, the Soul Stone generally is yellow, right? So we don't know if Cap has a Soul Stone actually inside of him. Maybe it was in the serum or something to begin with. Who knows what the case is? But I think Captain America has more than meets the eye here, and there's something going on with the Soul Stone while he has it, or something along those lines. He's able to hold Thanos off because of it. And actually, he has a stone all along, and that's why Thanos looks kind of confused in the one shot in the trailer. So Cap's eyes are yellow here. His eyes are generally blue. So there's something going on here. We just don't know what. And then the final shot of Spider-Man swinging through Titan, it looks like, as Thanos pulls a moon and a bunch of meteors to Earth, and Spider-Man is just pulling off some badassery and, you know, getting past everything and swinging around and, you know, avoiding all the obstacles in his way. So this shot was awesome, and really, ultimately, it was an awesome trailer. So it was so cool to look at all this stuff and kind of go through everything. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, that's pretty much, those are my theories for what's going to happen in the film. There's a lot to discuss, a lot to get into, I'm sure. But we're only a month away, April 27th. I mean, it's March 18th now, right? Sunday, March 18th. This is got to be the most anticipated maybe I've ever been for a movie. I was pretty hyped for The Last Jedi. I was anticipating The Last Jedi quite a bit. But Infinity War has been the culmination of 10 years. A lot of different Marvel films. I've watched every single Marvel film. Dude, I don't think I've ever been more anticipated, more hype, or more excited for a film ever. So I'm like my brother and I'm talking about, we're gonna freeze ourselves before the new movie comes out because, dude, the anticipation is pretty much killing me. So I'm pretty excited for it. I'm so excited for it. So if you guys have any comments, let me know that you want to drop in the comments below, and we can discuss this kind of stuff before I sign off out of here. But yeah, dude, I'm so hyped for this movie. It's gonna be amazing. I'd be shocked if it wasn't good. I'd be really surprised, just because based on all the trailers, based on the Russo Bros track record, considering they did Civil War, they did Winter Soldier, 2 of Marvel's best films to date. They got these 2 movies for a reason. But really, what's gonna happen is this movie is not gonna end well. It's gonna end with a big cliffhanger. But it's going to end badly for the Avengers. They're not going to win this fight. They're not going to win this fight in this first movie. Avengers 4, they're going to win, but there's going to be a cost to it, right? A lot of maybe a lot of your favorite characters are going to die. There's going to be some mind trippy aspects to the third and fourth movie. It's going to get really crazy and really unexpected, and I think that's going to be great. So I'm thinking this is going to be one of Marvel's highest rated films to date, maybe the highest. I think this might be my favorite Marvel film just on based on expectation. But we're going to see. I mean, we're going to see how it goes. I mean, there's a lot of great Marvel films to live up to. Avengers 1 was so great. So this movie has a high bar to live up to. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But like I said, there's so many shots in this trailer. There's so much new footage. I've kind of heard that they might give us one more trailer. I'm not entirely sure about that. I think 2 trailers is probably plenty. I think we've got enough, honestly. I think we've got enough to hold us over and get us excited enough for the film. So really, generally speaking, I don't feel like we really need another trailer. You guys will have to let me know. But yeah, I mean, there's so much to discuss in this trailer. But either way, make sure this video will be posted on the channel. So let me guys know what you think. When you go back and look at this video, post your comments. Let me know kind of what you think about the trailer, what you think about the film, whether you're excited about it, who do you think is going to die, what do you think is going to happen, all those things. And we'll discuss Infinity War and everything else, Marvel related or whatever else you want to talk about too. But until next time, hopefully that insight helped you review this trailer a little bit more. But I love this trailer. I would give it a 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorite trailers I've seen in a while. A lot of good new footage. Some people don't like trailers. That's fine. If you don't like trailers, that's totally fine. But for me, I like watching trailers. I've watched this trailer probably 15, 20 times already. So I obviously love it. But until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. I might have a video out later today, but we'll kind of see. But until then, I'll talk to you guys then.